Welcome back to the Boo Tragedies, man. Today we're going to talk about how Dennis Allen has almost had the perfect offseason in his first year with the Saints, being the head coach. And we're just going to jump right into it. Obviously, man, Sean Payton retired. Hand quotations on that because he's probably not retired. But Dennis Allen is kind of thrown into the fire late, I may add, because obviously, as a coach, you want to get started on that offseason basically right away. Start, getting your scouting in order, your coaching staff in order, and Dennis Allen kind of got a late start. But when he did get a start, man, he went straight to the defensive coordinator position because obviously that was his position. And he named Chris Richard and Ryan Nielsen the co-defensive coordinators. I think that was super big. Both of those guys needed a promotion. Both of those guys were definitely had offers on the table from other teams, and if they didn't get that promotion, we might have would have lost one or maybe even both of them. So that was a big step, naming those co-defensive coordinators, and that's not really a big issue because Dennis Allen is still going to run the defense. So giving those guys pay raises and title raises, I guess you can call it that, those promotions are going to be big for them too. It's going to help them further their careers down the line. So I think that was a super solid move by him. He retained Pete Carmichael as the offensive coordinator. I think that's going to be a move that we got to just wait and see. Obviously, he's been under Sean Payton for the longest, so obviously he knows something. Like, you're just not going to be there for 10 plus years under Payton and not know anything. So we'll see how that one plays out. But I think the biggest signing at the coaching staff was Doug Marrone this year. He's going to be the offensive line coach. I think that's going to be huge, especially with the offensive line had a bad year from a Saints offensive line point. Obviously, we got Trevor Penning in the draft, so that's going to definitely help him. You got a rookie offensive lineman that's going to be starting at probably left tackle, the most important tackle position on the field. So he's definitely going to help out there. Obviously, Zach Street's on the staff as well, so that'll help. Then he came out, out of nowhere, basically. I won't say him and Mickey Loomis, but he's the head coach, so he gets the credit, man. They came out and traded for a first-round pick. Having a first-round pick already, being super aggressive in his first year, obviously okaying that, and trading up, to get another first. You give away your first next year. That just shows me your confidence because you're thinking this first round pick next year is going to be late. So, you just give up that pick. And obviously once you give up that pick, man, you go to the draft. You get Olave in the first round. As you trade up again once you get in the draft, and then you get Trevor Penning later in the first at 19. I think that just shows aggression. That shows you're committed to winning now and not later. That shows that excuse me. That shows that anyone, in the building, you have to know that your job is on the line every day. You just don't have a job. We're trying to get better. We're trying to add talent, and I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have. Sean Payton kind of lacked in that. He kind of fell in love with the guys on the roster for the most part. He really didn't try to upgrade as much as he should have, throughout his year, especially late throughout his years. And now we kind of go through some of the signings he had this summer. Obviously, Jameis Winston at quarterback, bringing him back. You bring Marcus May, Bradley Roby, kind of got extended, but took a huge pay cut, but it was good still to keep him. You brought P.J. Williams back on a one-year deal. Deontay Harty, for you people that keep calling him Deontay Harris, he re-signed his restricted tender. Then you bring in Andy Dalton as the backup. You re-signed Jawan Johnson, Shai Tuttle, Kentavious Street, and obviously the big fish you just signed, Tyrann Mathieu, not too long ago. He comes back home, man. I think those things, Tyrann for sure, I can almost guarantee probably wouldn't have been here under Sean Payton, man. So that's a super get. We probably wouldn't have Chris Olave as well. Trevor Penning, that's a Sean Payton pick. I'll give him that. We probably would have done that, but we definitely wouldn't have had Tyrann. I think we definitely wouldn't have had Chris Olave if Sean Payton was still on his staff. So, I think Dennis Allen is running away with this first offseason. Oh, and obviously moving Taysom to full-time tight end. We know that wasn't happening for a fact if Sean Payton was still here, man. I think that's his best role. I think Taysom, even though in his heart of hearts, that's his best role. But look, he got his money now, so maybe he can give that quarterback dream up. He was obviously just a journeyman in the NFL, so he was trying to, play quarterback. Obviously, they make the most money, man. I don't even blame you. But he got a little nice payday at tight end anyway. It's his little H-back hybrid role. So I think he'll be fine, man. His money's going to be good. His pocket's going to be fat. So he'll be good. And I thank Dennis Allen so much for putting him back in that role. But yeah, I don't need to go into super deep dive on this, man. I'm just glad that this offseason finally feels different. It feels very different from a Sean Payton offseason. And obviously we had talks with Jarvis Landry earlier, in the summer, in this offseason, but it didn't work. Didn't work out, as of now. But Jarvis Landry is still a free agent. If he get that, it's honestly an A+++ offseason for Dennis Allen. Right now, I'm just giving him an A, which is solid. I'm giving you an A. I told you the way you get the A plus is we bring in another receiver. Only reason why you didn't get an A plus is because Traquan Smith came back. And no offense to Traquan Smith, I would have rather upgrade that position, somewhere else. He just hasn't shown me anything where I can, be excited about Traquan Smith coming back. But if we can replace that with a Jarvis Landry and Traquan Smith just the 5th or 6th guy on the roster, then hey, I'm happy. But if not, it's still an A this offseason, man. We've done everything. We're ready to start the season right now. I think the roster is set. We don't really need to upgrade anywhere. I feel confident in this roster being healthy, coming into the season, being ready to go and being ready to contend for a championship. But that's so far down the line, man. But thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, this is the Boo Tragedies. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'm out.